Rising above the Coast Range west of Oregon's mid-Willamette Valley is Mary's Peak, at 4,097 feet, the highest point in the entire range. We have come to explore the geological and botanical features of this unusual place. We are not young. We are not in a hurry. We like to study the landscape features and the small details, the flora, the fauna, the long arc of geological history.
We believe, like Aristotle, that in all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. We are Elizabeth and Terry. We are two on a trail.
Mary's Peak is located within the traditional homelands of the Kalapuya, the Alsea, and Yaquina bands. It provided refuge for people fleeing the rising waters of the Ice Age Columbia River floods and is a sacred place for spirit quests. Members of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde Community of Oregon and the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians, they have stewarded this land since time immemorial and still live and thrive here. In 2019, 10 creeks were renamed by descendants of these bands to honor the mountain's cultural and historical importance.
Let's go more up, okay?
Yeah, I want to get up on that meadow. Is this a loop we can return up this way?
Yeah, we can return that way.
Sounds like a plan.
There's some cute little fairy bells again.
What trees are we looking at? Noble firs?
Oh, yeah, I think noble fir.
We are walking through a rare forest composed almost completely of noble fir. Normally, we would expect to see these trees in the Cascades, but here at 4,000 feet, they are thriving. This forest is about 150 to 250 years old and is the most extensive stand of noble fir in Oregon's Coast Range. A lot of seedlings, a lot of babies in here. All that pollen that's been drifting around, coating everything. It's the new forest of the future.
This meadow is really lush. Every square inch of it is covered with something in multiple layers. There's mosses and then these flowers. Detour smells nice. A noble fir. Wind thrown, probably. Gravity.
Okay, this is that little junction. So now we're on the trail that goes up. Summit.
Going out into the high meadow. We're thinking we'll be able to see the summit before too long. That's always interesting because oftentimes you think you're there, but you know you're really not. We have a ways to go.
Because of its diverse plant communities and broad meadows, Mary's Peak has been designated a Scenic Botanical Special Interest Area. It's kind of smoky looking out there.
Here at the summit of Mary's Peak, we can see the evidence of mountain building and breakdown. Beginning 55 million years ago, undersea eruptions formed blobs or pillows, as they are called. These can be seen in a quarry about 6 miles down the road from the summit parking lot. Some of the pillows are unbroken, some are broken into radial fractures like open flowers. These are some of the best examples of pillow basalts found anywhere in the world. The second layer, composed of hardened deposits of mud and sandstone on the ocean floor, can be seen a few miles further up the road. These were laid down between 55 and 35 million years ago. The top layer is the gabbro sill, seen at Parker Creek Falls, less than 3 miles down the road, and also here in outcrops at the summit of Mary's Peak. This thick, hard layer accounts for the fact that Mary's Peak is about 500 feet higher than any other summit in the Coast Range. Layers of sandstone were deposited above the gabbro, and beginning about 30 million years ago, the whole mass was uplifted out of the ocean to form the Coast Range. Then, for the last 20 million years, erosion has removed up to 2 miles of the top layer, maybe 10,000 feet or more, leaving the hard gabbro exposed at the top of Mary's Peak. So we are walking back on the Meadow Edge trail. We've been to the top, and this is the fun part, which is, I think, mostly downhill. But we're taking a loop part of the trail, so we're not going to go exactly the way we came up.
This is almost the end of our hike. It's really just a walk in the woods. And we found a part of the trail where it's just been Elizabeth and I.